Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing another movie review for you all. This movie is a horror film from the United States, English language, released in the year 2024, directed by Matthew Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, and this film is called Abigail. So Abigail is about a young ballerina named Abigail. She is the daughter of a very powerful businessman, and she's also the target of a group of people who are intending on kidnapping her. The mission is to actually take her back to this secluded mansion and wait for the powerful father to pay the ransom. But unfortunately, when they get the daughter back to the mansion, this is the start of a series of unfortunate events that spiral out of control, and now this group are fighting for their lives. So whether or not they live to tell the tale and also get the ransom is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Abigail. This is yet another horror film that I've actually seen with a lot of outside influence. A lot of people have really hyped this film up, and so recently I've seen quite a few of them, and some of them have actually been very enjoyable, and on the rare occasion they actually live up to the hype, but there have also been films that have crashed and burnt that have been bitter disappointments. So I didn't really know what to expect with Abigail. It created a sense of Russian roulette. You know, 1 in every 6 is going to be really, really good, and what was Abigail going to be? Was it going to be a crash and burn, or was it going to be very enjoyable? So I had my fingers crossed that it was going to be enjoyable. When I saw the trailer, I thought it looked like a lot of fun. Although I felt as though it showed off a little bit too much in the trailer, I was still hoping that there was going to be enough unseen qualities in this movie to make it worthwhile. So fingers crossed, my anticipation levels were high. I wanted to love Abigail, and after watching the film, I will say that I was really disappointed with this movie. This movie really crashed and burnt, and I felt as though it was very mediocre. Now, a lot of people have praised this movie to no end, each to their own, but you guys know me, I'm brutally honest. If that's not your kind of thing, please unsubscribe from my channel. I'm not going to give in to outside influence. I'm not going to go with the bandwagon and like a film because others like it. For me, I was judging this movie on what I wanted, and unfortunately I didn't get what I wanted. This is a film that I felt was very Hollywood-esque in the way it finished, and that was an ultimate problem I had with the movie. But I will say that there are positives to the film. They're very, very few and far between, but there are positives to prevent this movie from being a complete waste of time. Now, the biggest positive to this film is that it is very well made. It's a very caricature sort of style of film. It's a movie that's not taking itself seriously, so it's self-aware to that degree. And so you will enjoy it for what the movie is. It's a popcorn horror film. And so it's a very blood-soaked popcorn horror film. There's a lot of gore, there's a lot of blood spray. It's practical effects sort of gore, so I really like the way it looked. And the overall mood to the film, as I said, was a lot of fun. But unfortunately, this is where the positives stop, and this is where the negatives start. The trailer gives away way too much to this film. The ace up this film's sleeve is what is shown in the trailer, and so unfortunately that defeats all of the build-up that the movie is creating. The first half of this movie is about the characters. The first half of this film is wondering what this daughter is all about, but once you know through the trailer what it's all about, it defeats the purpose of all that build-up. The build-up is non-existent. The suspense is non-existent. You're just waiting for the gory parts to happen, and you're starting to look at your watch. And so that's ultimately the biggest issue. People don't know how to do trailers these days, and when you actually give away your biggest draw card, that is ultimately going to become a major problem. It's going to fall very flat, and it's going to feel like the first 40 minutes is taking 4 hours. So the character development in this movie was there, but I really didn't like any of the characters. I thought they were very, very irritating and very odd in a really bad way. I never really got the humour and the interactions between these characters. I thought were very awkward, and it almost felt like that was very deliberately done. So maybe it's appealing to a style of humour, but it was not my style of humour. So you have Kevin Durant, Dan Stevens, who are very well established actors, who are creating these characters that I just didn't like. And so I didn't really care about any of them, and therefore, as I said, that sense of the first 40 minutes, it was dragging to no end. I wanted to see what this ballerina was all about. I wanted to see what was going to happen to these people, but unfortunately it was getting to that sort of stage of the film that was the biggest chore that I had. So when the actual horror set pieces really get going, if you are a fan of extreme horror, it's nothing that you're going to be shocked by. I actually thought it was quite tame in that regard. I thought I wanted a little bit more hardcore sort of horror set pieces in order to really save the first 40 minutes, because these are characters that you don't really gravitate to on a personal level. These are characters that you can't relate to, therefore you want to see them die horribly, but unfortunately that satisfaction in the horrible deaths was not there as well. And then the end of the film comes. Now the end, as I said, is very Hollywood-esque. It's something that will appeal to a certain group of people, but for me, I wanted a lot more. As I said, this whole film just felt like it's had a really good idea, but it was used up in its trailer. So when you see the trailer, you think to yourself, what's the point of watching the film? And so that's unfortunately the case with a lot of movies out there. Trailers give away too much. And Abigail is a prime example of giving away way too much, therefore the experience just feels very dull and flat. This is a film that, as I said, a lot of people like, and each to their own. If you want to share your opinions, please feel free. But for me, wanting so much more from Abigail, what I got was just a bit of disappointment. And as a result of that, I'm only going to give this film 1.5 stars. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.